Hi, it's Ariana. Welcome back to Laki Maikai. Today's dish is one I almost didn't want to share, honestly, not because it's complicated, but because it's the opposite. It's embarrassingly simple, and it's become the single most requested thing I make for friends and family. Asian-style marinated grilled pork shoulder. 5 ingredients, no leftovers, ever. Let me take you back to when we lived on Maui. That was the era of the backyard barbecue for us. We hosted constantly, mostly because everyone we knew wanted an excuse to be outside in the evening with a plate of food and a cold drink in hand. I started leaning into this Asian flair barbecue style for those get-togethers because it just made sense with the flavors we all loved out there. Soy, ginger, garlic, citrus, that whole family of ingredients that shows up so naturally in island cooking. It felt right for the setting, and it felt right for the crowd. This pork shoulder became my go-to for those nights. I'd marinate a big batch the evening before, and then throw everything on the grill right as people started arriving, so the whole yard would smell like charred, sticky, gingery pork by the time the first guest walked in the gate. It became a bit of a signature for those Maui evenings. Someone would always ask, half joking, half serious, "Wait, is the pork happening tonight?" before they'd even confirm they were coming. We don't live there anymore, and I don't always have a grill fired up and ready the way I used to on those island nights. So these days, I actually make this most often in the air fryer instead. It sounds like a downgrade, I know, trading a live flame and a backyard full of friends for a countertop appliance. But honestly, the air fryer gets remarkably close to that same caramelized, slightly charred exterior, especially if you don't crowd the basket, and it means I can make this pork any random weeknight without any of the setup. It's become its own kind of tradition now, smaller scale, less ceremony, but the same craving satisfied. So why does something this simple work so well? Honestly, it's the marinade doing all the heavy lifting. Soy sauce brings that deep, salty backbone. Ginger and garlic add sharp, aromatic punch. Lemon juice brightens the whole thing and helps tenderize the meat a little. And brown sugar caramelizes beautifully, giving you that slightly charred, sticky exterior everyone fights over, whether it's coming off a grill grate or out of an air fryer basket. 4 humble ingredients, doing something that tastes a lot more complicated than it actually is. Let's make it together. This serves about 5 people. You'll need 5 pork shoulder country-style ribs. That's my preferred cut, because the marbling in the shoulder keeps everything tender and flavorful. But really, any cut of pork works fine here if that's what you have. 5 teaspoons of crushed ginger. 4 to 5 big cloves of garlic, crushed. Half a cup of soy sauce. The juice of 1 lemon. And 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Here's how it comes together, and I promise there's nothing tricky here. First, make your marinade. In a large bowl or a resealable plastic bag if you want easy cleanup, combine the soy sauce, lemon juice, brown sugar, crushed ginger, and crushed garlic. Stir it or shake it well until the sugar's fully dissolved. Add your pork to the marinade, making sure every piece gets thoroughly coated. Cover the bowl or seal the bag, and refrigerate it for at least 2 to 4 hours. If you can plan ahead, overnight gives you the best flavor. That's the step I really don't skip if I can help it. It makes a real difference. About 30 minutes before you're ready to cook, pull the pork out of the fridge so it can come a little closer to room temperature. If you're grilling, preheat your grill to medium-high heat, around 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Grill the pork for 6 to 8 minutes per side, depending on thickness, until it hits an internal temperature of 145 degrees Fahrenheit and develops that beautiful caramelized, slightly charred crust. If you want extra flavor, baste it occasionally with the leftover marinade during the first half of grilling. That's completely optional, but I almost always do it. If you're going the air fryer route like I usually do these days, cook it at 370 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 minutes on one side, then flip and cook another 15 minutes on the other side. Depending on how thick your pieces are, you might need an extra 5 minutes to finish them through. Just check that internal temperature hits 145 degrees Fahrenheit before pulling them. Either way, once it's done, move the pork to a plate or cutting board, tent it loosely with foil, and let it rest for about 5 minutes before slicing or serving. That resting time matters more than people think. It lets the juices settle back into the meat instead of running out all over your cutting board the second you cut into it. No grill or air fryer? You can also broil these in the oven on a high setting. Just watch them closely, because broilers don't forgive distraction. If you want to adjust the flavor, an extra tablespoon of brown sugar or a drizzle of honey gives you a sweeter marinade. And if you want some heat, a teaspoon of chili flakes or a dash of sriracha stirred into the marinade adds a nice kick. Now let's talk about what to put around it, because this is really where you can build out a whole spread. For rice and starches, steamed jasmine rice is simple and lets the pork be the star of the plate. Garlic fried rice is a little more indulgent and does a great job soaking up any extra juices. Coconut rice adds a slightly sweet tropical note that plays beautifully with the lemony marinade, very Maui coated if you ask me. And if you want something a little different, sticky rice or even a simple vermicelli noodle salad underneath the pork works nicely too. For pickles and ferments, quick pickled vegetables such as daikon, cucumber, or carrot will cut through the richness with a nice tang. Kimchi brings a spicy, fermented contrast that I genuinely can't get enough of alongside this pork. And a simple Asian slaw with cabbage, carrots, and a light sesame vinaigrette adds crunch and acidity in one bite. For vegetables on the side, stir-fried bok choy with garlic is fresh, bright, and quick. Sautéed snow peas or sugar snap peas add color and a satisfying crunch. Asian-style eggplant is a lovely, silkier contrast to the char on the pork. And grilled baby corn or zucchini, cooked right alongside the pork if you're using the grill, keeps things simple and smoky. For sauces and extras, a soy sesame dipping sauce is salty, nutty, and great for extra bites. A spicy sriracha mayo adds heat and creaminess if you want to dress things up. And a sweet chili sauce on the side gives you a little sticky sweetness if that's what you're after. For drinks, this is where I really lean into the Maui memory. A cold, light lager or a crisp pilsner was always in someone's hand at those backyard nights. Iced green tea is refreshing if you want something non-alcoholic but still a little bold. Sake or soju keeps the whole meal feeling cohesive if you want to stay in that Asian-inspired lane. And a citrusy lemonade or yuzu soda echoes that bright lemon note already in the marinade. And if you want to go all the way and finish with dessert, mango sticky rice keeps you on theme, or a scoop of lychee sorbet is cold, fruity, and the perfect palate cleanser after all that rich, savory pork. Nutritionally, each serving comes in around 507 calories with a hearty 41 grams of protein. It's rich and satisfying, very much a centerpiece dish rather than a light one, which honestly tracks with how much everyone always wants seconds. So there it is, my old Maui backyard barbecue staple, now living a quieter life in an air fryer basket, but tasting every bit as good as it did back then. 5 ingredients, 1 overnight soak, and however you choose to cook it. I hope it disappears off your table just as fast as it always did off mine. Thanks for cooking along with me. Bon appetit, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Laki Mai Kai.